There's a ton of opportunity. I think one of the things too is that I've been noticing. I know that we're going to be talking about CPI today, but it's deal structuring. I think deal structuring is kind of one of the most important things, obviously, for new investors. That can sometimes be, analysis by paralysis by analysis. But I think, again, those are the things we'd love to share, is just kind of how to structure these things so that you can get in, and it just takes a little bit of courage. And
and that's exactly, I was literally just going to hit on that, the biggest stumbling block for people to get into investing in real estate is that fear of being in debt. And like Sam said, debt is good. If you want to get into real estate, you are going to be in debt. But at the same time, other people are going to be paying down your mortgage, potentially paying your mortgage. The value of the property is going up. But yeah, you're still going to be in debt to the mortgage company. And that's just the way this works. But 5-8 years down the line, it's a good thing.
The thing I think people misunderstand when they worry about real estate debt, Larry, is the following. You can have a mortgage and owe $200,000 on the property, and all the things you just said are true, right? Where the tenant is going to pay the monthly payment, they're going to pay down the balance and all that stuff. But I think the most important thing that people forget, or the biggest thing people forget, is that you can control a $250,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 asset for that $200,000 in debt. And that's where the rubber meets the road, because when the $300,000 house that you owe $200,000 on goes up 10%, that's $30,000 in equity directly to you. And you haven't changed your debt one penny. But you get the growth in the asset 100%.
But it's that fear factor. It's that whole thing, right? I mean, you guys talk to first-time investors, correct?
All the time.
And how? What's their main fear point?
Yeah, I mean, it's jumping in. It's I need to look it over. I need to do this, and I think also the other thing, that you can use that debt to write down your taxable income. So it wins on both sides of the equations. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, people are just. I mean, it's scary, I mean, it is scary. I mean, I remember buying, my first rental. I was definitely nervous. But, you just got to do it.
And you got to do your homework on your tenants.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and how you structure it, right? Whether you buy it in your name or you buy it in an LLC, doing due diligence, doing the little, work up front gets you so much latitude in the back in terms of, the ability to mess up or fumble the ball. So, if they're scared because they're lazy, that's one thing. But if they're scared just because, it's a big purchase and they maybe only rent or own their own home. And collateralizing things like that. There's other ways to do it. So I think it's just exploring those options.
I can even say using hard money for myself was a bit nerve-wracking, right? Because it was
15%.
Yeah, it was something unknown. I know we had a good buy, right? Because we all know that you make your money on the buy, but just that initial step to apply for the hard money, get the underwriting over, down payment. I mean, all the unknowns. For somebody that hasn't done real estate in any fashion is always I call it a deal killer, right? People won't move forward just because of that.
Well, they get paralyzed. In their head.
And that's just human nature, right? Let's not kid ourselves. That's not specific to real estate investors. It's people get paralyzed by the unknown.